How are you involved in filmmaking in India?
In India? I'm not really anymore.
How were you involved?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, man. There's a lot of shit I could talk about there. First, it was like, when I was in high school, I kind of like, something came to me where I was just like, I know I want to be a filmmaker. I mean, there was a lot that I didn't know, but I knew I wanted to make films. I think it was like after seeing Eraserhead and like a bunch of movies that kind of showed that, you know, that there can be so many different ways of telling a story. You know, like Meshes of the Afternoon and stuff. And when I was in India, there's a really small kind of community for like good art films and stuff. You know, like there aren't. I mean, it's definitely not popular. Bollywood is obviously the dominant thing there. And then other than that, there's I'd say, you know, a lot, like a big Hollywood following. Oh man, I can't believe I'm using this cilantro. So I mean, you know, I met a lot of. Obviously, I was connected to people in the intelligentsia because the way India works is that if you have a little bit of money, you know, the circle is. You kind of know everybody else that has a little bit of money too. I don't know. Class is weird there. I ended up kind of meeting a lot of really interesting people that were trying to make like either make films or get into film society, like trying to, you know, build up more like organizations revolving preserving a certain type of cinema. I mean, just like for example, there was this group called Collective Chaos, and like I worked, you know, I mean, it was growing, and it's like now in Bangalore. I was in Bangalore. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier. The community for art films is growing like exponentially. It's really beautiful, you know. There was never really a strong avant-garde movement or anything, but I started to see, like in art schools. My high school was attached to an art school for, you know, and I saw films being made there. So I met some people, and I made some like 16mm films with this one artist. Then there's like competitions. There's like there's some small competitions around that I got into, but it was mostly just getting to use a camera. And India didn't really have like that strong impact on me. I think mostly what was strong about being in India and making or getting into film there was that I had the freedom. You know, I had the freedom to be like to get access. I went to this really elitist school, and like my principal and like the art school that we was connected to, you know, really embraced that anybody that was getting into that stuff. So I mean, it was cool in that sense. I mean, it's also I kind of think, you know, sometimes like I think about going back, and I think what would it be like to go back and make films in India, and I actually have some like ideas for projects, and I've spoken to people, and I think I might do it. I just feel like, you know, no one's gonna really watch them there. I wouldn't want to make a film that people don't want to watch. That's what I'm afraid of. That's like, I guess every filmmaker's fear. But I at the same time, I don't want to sell out and do some bullshit. But I'm not like I'm talking like I'm some sort of a great filmmaker, and I'm not. I'm still learning, man.
Why are there pink Post-it notes and parts on the wall of the bathroom?
Yeah. That was like from this film I was making. It was called Cleanliness is Next to Godliness, and it's like it was entirely in the bathroom, as you might tell from the title. The concept was it was an experimental film, I guess. The Post-its were part of that film, but it was also like 5 o'clock in the morning when we were shooting that, and we all look at it like this really funny moment, like we all kind of laugh about it. There's all these like silly little sayings and stuff on each one. It's something really beautiful about cooking. Like that I totally love. It's an art where you immediately, it's like music almost. Like when people play music, like you just hear it or you taste it as soon as it's done, and you know if it's good or not, man. That's beautiful, dude.
Would you like to go back to filmmaking in India?
Yeah, I thought about that, man. I thought about that because there's so much more that I think India needs as far as like a film history. I think we need to change certain fields. I'd love to see more like socially conscious work, but you know, a part of me feels like I don't belong there. Kind of like how I feel here. I feel like an immigrant here. I feel like an immigrant there. It's not an identity crisis though. So completely unaware of where my space is.